Salut à tous, it's Marie from justfrenchy.com. Today together we are going to talk about French for travelers. What do you really need to know if you are learning French for travel, to travel to France or to travel to a French-speaking country? Learning French for travel is really going to open you new doors when it comes to travel. Not only do you get more places to visit, but you also get a more enjoyable experience while visiting the countries. But how do you get around learning French for travel? Do you really need to know everything there is to know about the French grammar to make yourself understood in France? No. The list of things you really need to know is pretty short, but it's always extendable depending on what you want to be able to do. Stay tuned until the end of the video to learn how you can learn all of that. The basics of French politeness. If I was going to talk grammar, right? Well, no. Languages are not only words and grammar rules. To be able to get yourself understood, you need to know a bit about the culture of the country you are traveling to, and that includes France, because I'm sure you've heard this before. French people are rude, they are not fun. It was the worst service I've ever got. In my experience, 99% of the people who are saying that just don't get us. And it's because they don't have a clue about the rudiments of French culture and how to address French people without offending them. Yes, there's really a way to do it. Second, your way around asking questions. It's a classic of phrasebook. Think about asking for directions. Is it that important though? Well, sort of. When you are learning about directions, for example, you are not only learning about how to ask where things are, you also are learning how to address people, how to ask questions. And believe me, it is a great conversation opener, also an easy one. So it's a win-win for you. Because yes, of course, you don't always need to ask for directions because there's apps to get from a point A to a point B, but do you really want to experience France through your phone? I don't think so. Plus, it goes a bit beyond that. It's also about learning how to ask questions. And asking questions is the base of communication, right? Asking for information, sharing information. A good majority of what you need to know to travel to France is how to ask questions and a minimum of spoken French to understand when people are talking to you. Because yes, if you travel to France, it's not only about saying things, it's also about understanding what people are saying to you. I'm not asking you to understand a political debate. We are looking at things like greetings, prices, food descriptions, recommendations, problem, transport rules, etc. Seeing it like that, it's not so much of a big deal, is it? And then, of course, a minimum of written French to understand signs and other posters. You will mostly rely on spoken French in France to say and to understand things, but you also need to be able to read a few things, like signs, menus, museum descriptions, etc. Although I say if you only have time to concentrate on one thing, concentrate on speaking and forget about how it's spelled. If you have the time though, concentrate on vocabulary rather than grammar, because you'll easily understand the broad meaning of things once you know a few words within the sentence. And it's going to be much harder if you understand why it's the right tense but don't get the meaning. In which situation would you rather be? And finally, how to spark up a conversation with a native. I feel like this one is a bit overlooked by books, manuals and learners alike. But if you are traveling to France, it's because you want to get an authentic experience, right? You want to interact with the locals? Then you need to be able to spark conversations that go beyond a simple exchange of prices with the cashier. And for that, there's a few rules of politeness that you need to know, but also you need to know how to avoid controversial topics for a first conversation. You need to know good conversation openers, simple questions to ask for recommendations, and a broader vocabulary in general. And all of that you will learn in the French for Travelers online course. I've built French for Travelers with the help of the Just French It community, and we've worked hard and good to make it the best we could. Plus, until the 17th of October, it's half price, so no excuses. Get it in the description below the video. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you vendredi for Vendredi Vocabulary on Just French It. À la prochaine!